will assist the companies to prepare financial statements. It will assist the company to prepare financial statements. How to prepare? What will be the pro forma of SOPL? What will be the pro forma of your financial statements? Who will tell you? Who will guide you? Conceptual framework. And if you can remember, when we were in like become first semester or second semester, we have studied about certain assumptions like going concern, prudence.
Yeah.
Can you remember those concepts?
Yeah. Yes, right. Yeah.
So who is telling all the concepts? Conceptual framework. If you really want to prepare a financial statements, which is very much reliable, presenting a true and fair information, those are the assumptions that you have to make always.
Okay.
So conceptual frameworks is giving you the base on which you are applying individual accounting standards in order to build the entire building. So conceptual framework is the foundation. And individual IFRS and individual IAS, that is International Accounting Standards, are nothing but the interior design.
Okay. Got it.
Clear?
Yeah.
Right. Now this conceptual framework, we'll learn about this conceptual framework, what are the things we have, but this is completely a theory part. So we'll learn during the 60 hours of training whenever we need, whenever there is a concept of conceptual framework is coming, that time we'll refer conceptual framework and we'll complete the thing. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Now, the first thing we should know, according to conceptual framework, what are the financial statements that we need to prepare? What are the financial statements? Can you please tell me according to Indian context?
Basically, you mean to say the order, or you mean like cash flow statement, the P&L balance sheet cash flow statement? Is that
okay? Fine. So first one is P&L.
Yeah.
Second one you are telling balance sheet. Third one you are telling cash flow. Now there are other statements also. So this is according to Indian standard. But here we have to learn according to conceptual framework given by IASB.
Okay.
So we have to prepare P&L only, but the name is different. In case of conceptual framework given by IASB, the name is different. This is called SOPL, Statement of Profit or
Loss. Okay.
So this is not only SOPL, Statement of Profit and Loss, and other comprehensive income. So this is the absolute name for the P&L statement according to conceptual framework given by IASB.
I see. Okay. Sorry, what is OCI once again?
Other comprehensive income. So this is a statement. I will show you the exact statement. Just a second.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
No, Shubham, sorry. It's in that writing mode. Yeah, now I can see it. Yeah.
So this is the SOPL and OCI. So statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income.
Okay.
So see here, we are taking the revenue. From revenue, we are deducting the cost of sales. We are getting gross profit. I will give you all the things, but this is only for the rough idea. Just see, because we have to prepare SOPL in our day, during our 60 hours only. We have to prepare.
Okay.
So this is like other expenses or the indirect expenses we are deducting. Then we are getting PBT, then income tax, then profit for the period. Now this is the first part. Now this is the second part. With this profit for the period, we'll take there are certain other things. like revaluation surplus. There are certain other factors which we need to consider, which is
Okay.
not really related to the course of the business. Try to understand, which is not really related to the course of the business, but this is the income or the expenditure for our company.
Company. Okay. Okay.
So we will show all the things in under OCI. Then we'll take the total comprehensive income, total other comprehensive income, then total comprehensive income for the year. That means profit for the year plus total OCI. See here, we have computed profit for the year,
Yeah. And
and here we have computed total OCI, other comprehensive income. Now we'll report total comprehensive income for the year. That includes profit for the year plus total OCI. Is that clear?
Yeah, right. Got it.
Right. Now the second statement which we have to prepare, that is called SOFP. So let's go get back to the whiteboard. So this is nothing but we have in our Indian context, we have to prepare balance sheet.
Yes.
So then here the name is little different, statement of financial position.
Okay.
I will show you that also. Statement of financial position. See, this is the statement of financial position. So nothing but the
balance sheet.
Balance sheet. Asset. They have given only the asset. So after that, we have to write equity and other liabilities also in this pro forma. Clear?
Yeah.
Asset, current assets, then total asset. Then we are taking equity and liabilities, non-current liabilities, current liabilities, total equity and liabilities. This is the SOFP. Now the third one, the third financial statements which we have to prepare, that is cash flow. Here the name is the same only. We are telling statement of cash flow, SOCF. The pro forma is same like Indian context also. Now the another thing, SOCIE. What does it mean by SOCIE? That
statement of income and expenditure, is it?
Statement of changes in equity.
Okay, equity. Okay.
Statement of changes in equity. Now, this is the statement which we have to prepare. The statement of changes in equity. What we are showing here actually, here we are showing the movement in the equity part.
Okay.
See, share capital, share premium. We are taking the opening balance. If there is any movement, we are showing, and at the end of the year, what is the balance? In case of share premium, what is the movement? In case of revaluation surplus, what is the movement? In case of retained earning, what is the movement? So this statement is only for equity part. Okay. The movement in the total equity and what are the component of equity. We are showing that only in this statement. Is that clear?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Just one question. So, in fact, for example, in companies like mine, wherein we prepare P&L and balance sheet based on Indian accounting standards, is it okay to implement IFRS in Indian books as well, or it has to be in India there are certain conditions where an IFRS should be used in the reporting?
So your question is, in case of an Indian company, or in case of suppose there is a company in India, they are trying to follow IFRS, is it fine or not, right?
Yes, right.
So there are certain clauses which we have to see.
Okay.
So if it is a registered company, if it is a UK registered company, So there are certain clause which is there in Companies Act,
Mhm.
whether you can follow it or not.
Okay, okay. Why I'm asking is like, for example, if it's a startup, okay, it's if assuming it's a startup wherein it's a subsidiary wherein the actual parent company is a foreign company. Assuming,
Correct.
like like take the example of my company wherein it's actually the parent is French, okay, wherein they're following IFRS reporting standards, right? And then, in fact, in India, that is a subsidiary. If we have to adopt the same IFRS, since the parent company is from France, is it possible in India, or still we have to follow some rules? So it doesn't,
See,
the subsidiary is
yeah.
registered as an Indian company, but it's
Now
actually
I am
a subsidiary of foreign company. You understood
correct. Now
the
I am
logic?
telling you one thing.
Yeah.
If in case it's a listed Indian companies,
Okay.
in case if it is a listed Indian companies, I will come to your part also.
Okay.
They must have to follow Indian accounting standard in order to prepare their financial statements.
Okay. Okay.
First point is clear,
Yes, right. Yeah.
but they can voluntarily present full IFRS financial statements as it is allowed by SEBI and company law.
Voluntarily, sorry, I didn't understand that point.
Voluntarily they can present, voluntarily they can prepare with the Indian accounting standard financial statement. With
Okay.
that statement, if they want to prepare another statement which is based on IFRS, they can do that.
But
You get my point?
I got the point. But again, for presentation to maybe, like, say, from a validity perspective, still, I mean, since it's a listed company in India, we need to mandatorily follow Indian accounting standards,
Yeah,
correct?
that's for sure,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
we have to follow. Now, in case of a listed Indian companies, IFRS is the like option. If you
Option.
want
Okay.
to present, you may present. Now you are talking about foreign subsidiaries in India.
Yes, right. No, no. Go ahead, Shubham. I'm listening. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in case of foreign subsidiaries also, as they are operating in India,
Mhm.
as they are operating in India, they have to follow Indian accounting standard.
Okay. And again, as an option, again, IFRS, is it? I mean, this is not, this cannot be completely IFRS alone. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I will come to that point.
Yeah, sure.
Now it's a relief that an overseas subsidiary, associate, or joint venture of an Indian company is not required to prepare its financial statement as per Indian accounting standard. Now, if there is any Indian company is having an overseas operation, then they don't have to prepare the financial statement as per accounting standard. But the vice versa is true. In case of a foreign subsidiary, which is like who all are having operation in India, they have to prepare financial statement as per Indian accounting standard. So that was a little bit history and the background of IFRS.
Okay.
Now we will start a standard. Now we'll go into the standard, but before going in the standard, can we take a 5 minutes break?
Absolutely. No problem. Yeah.
Let's take a 5 minute break. Now it's 11:03. We'll come back at 11:08.
Sure, Shubham. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yes, I am back. We can continue.
Yeah. So can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
See, this is the notification given by MCA.
Okay.
See, just read this paragraph, which will clear your doubt.
So pretty much what it says is we can follow IFRS as well. Is my understanding correct? Or
But it is not clearly given till now.
okay.
There is a verge of merging the standards with Indian accounting standard, but they haven't merged till now.
Okay.
You know what is the like main concept?
Mhm.
In other countries, like if you're talking about UK also, we means all the SECA person are very much accepted there.
Okay.
But in India, there is a problem because ICAI is having a monopoly power.
Okay.
They
Okay.
are not accepting any foreign professional degrees.
Okay. Okay.
Like if you are an SECA qualified person, you you can do audit. You can do audit. If you are going to UAE, you can do audit also by writing a single paper, their law paper. You have to write because the
Okay.
law and laws are different for each and every country, right?
Country. Okay.
So
Okay.
being an accountant, you should have an idea about the Companies Act. But in case of India, they are not allowing SECA to practice in India. To practice in India, you have to get a CA degree from ICAI.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
So there is a clash. There is a mental clash, I should say. And the ICAI is having complete monopoly power to take the decision. But we are expecting that is going to happen within next few years because one foreign education bill is coming.
Okay.
In that foreign education bill, they are trying to say that all the foreign degrees, depending on the curriculum, you have to accept.
Okay.
You
Okay.
may
So you
change it.
mean
You
to
may
say,
ask the yeah.
so you mean to say if you are CMA US qualified or CPA US qualified or ACCA UK qualified, like you can practice in India, which is
You
not
can
possible.
practice in India, but that is still now also we can't.
Right.
But in the
Got it.
upcoming foreign bill, they are trying to include this type of things also.
Okay. Okay.
They are telling it very clearly that you may practice, but you have to prove yourself also. Whether
Got it.
if you have completed SECA UK, then you must have an idea about the taxation of UK. You must have an idea of the law of UK, but you doesn't have the idea of law and the taxation rules and regulation according to the Indian concept.
Understood. So what they're trying to say is like the qualification what you have applies to that particular country and is not like applicable to the current laws of what exist in India. So
Correct.
pretty much that's
So
why. Like,
other countries, what they are doing, other countries are telling you, okay, no problem. You are an SECA qualified. Just write those two papers, the law and taxation, and get the degree. Will give you the freedom to practice in that country. But India, there is still now they are building. I shouldn't say they are not improving. They are developing. They are developing in India also. ICAI is like right now they're little bit trying to accept other degrees. They are trying to make MOU, that is the memorandum of understanding with other bodies like ICAEW, CPA Australia, CPA